whether you're a master home cook or just starting out, there's always something new to learn about the ingredients in your kitchen. Here with tips to help us raise our at-home cooking smarts is co-author of the new book, Food IQ, chef and restaurateur Daniel Holzman.
Wow.
Chef Holzman, welcome.
Hello, sir.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start right away. We're so interested in understanding this. Onions, what's the difference?
So we wrote Food IQ with the whole idea is you can feel confident choosing any onion to cook for any recipe, but certain onions are better than others for certain ingredients.
Okay, so tell us.
A yellow onion's great for sautéing, white onion's great for a raw preparation, and red onions, they've got a beautiful color, so you should highlight them in a salad.
Okay, got
I see.
it.
Okay.
Good, didn't know that. Salts, a lot of coarse salts here.
The idea here, different salts have different textures. They're different saltinesses. So if you take a pinch of really fine-grained salt, it can be a lot more salty than a coarser grained salt. Therefore, you want to stick to one type of salt.
Why do people brag about Himalayan salt?
There are health benefits that are attributed to pink Himalayan salt.
Do they brag
People were
about
like,
it?
well, I have some Himalayan salt if you want to come over tonight.
I only said that once.
So it does matter.
I don't think it matters.
Okay,
if you dissolve it, you can't taste the difference.
Right,
There's a question
Salty,
about the health benefits.
Okay.
And then, big part of Food IQ is debunking myths and saying, hey, it's okay to cook with frozen fish. Just make sure the recipe you're cooking, it lends itself to the properties that frozen fish are good for. Saucy or sauces, something that's going to hide the fact that maybe they're a little more moist than, a fresh fish.
Is that what happens to a frozen fish? It's moisture?
It can tend to get a little soggy texture, so
it could also be a little fishier?
It could be a bit fishier, heavier sauce to cover it up.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Saucier sauce.
Sauce it up with some beurre blanc.
I did not know that you could buy scallops.
Oh, boy, it's a whole new world. Coming back, more with Daniel Holzman right after this. Stay where you are.
Ryan is just cross-contaminating everything. Do you have any
I have my own toy set.
raw chicken you want him to cut up with?
You could grate a little raw chicken.
Chef Daniel Holzman, what is next? Food IQ.
So, the whole point of Food IQ, the cookbook, is to give you the confidence to cook like a chef and know what type of dried herbs are okay when you need to use fresh ingredients. Which potatoes you want to use for which application. We have Parmesan cheese versus pecorino. Which one is right to grate over my pasta, or which one should I be eating? Or is it okay to turn to the stuff in the jar, which, let's face it, is
What's
very
the answer on the herbs?
Yeah.
Or the
info on the herbs is, basil, the stuff that's got a really, fresh flavor is important to stay fresh. Stuff like oregano or bay leaves, they dry really, really well. Parsley, I just use fresh or I leave it out.
Yeah. All right, potatoes. What's best to mash or fry?
So, depending upon whether you want something crispy and fried, a starchier potato like a Kennebec or a russet is great.
Okay.
The Yukon Gold is a great all-purpose potato, and we all love these little fingerlings. They're a little starchy. They're great for roasting. And then when we're talking cheese, we've got Parmigiano Reggiano. The king of cheeses is great for eating. And then we've got all of these recipes at Food IQ. So, for each thing we're talking about here, we've got a recipe to illustrate the answer. You go to www.foodiq.co and, you buy the book.
That's what you do. Yes, you can get Daniel's new book. It's called, as you heard, Food IQ, and it is out today. Congrats.
Great.
Thanks for coming in. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Stay where you are.
Did we pass or did we fail?
You guys are unbelievable.
Want to know more about anything you see on live? Just go to our website at kellyandryan.com.